What's up? What's going on? What's good? The Boxing Source checking in here. And here we are in this, the aftermath, immediate aftermath. And we still have a WBC heavyweight champion as Tyson Fury knocks out Deontay Wilder in the trilogy to stay undefeated and to stay as a WBC and lineal heavyweight champion. That was his first defense of a belt, of any belt. And you saw what happened in this particular fight. And immediate reaction is, well, Tyson Fury pretty much controlled this particular bout all across the board. And the other immediate reaction is, you gotta say that Deontay Wilder has a lot of heart and will never give up for anything. The knockdowns that were scored by Tyson Fury were fairly emphatic. And the ones scored by Deontay Wilder were not necessarily emphatic. His first knockdown that he scored came off of a right hand shot that he got in mid-range. And he tried to follow up with, a combination, but Fury just stumbled pretty much to the corner and went down to the canvas. And his legs weren't necessarily all there. And he ended up being knocked down once again in the center of the ring. But he wasn't really, hit flush with another right hand. And you saw Deontay Wilder with his initial strategy, going to the body early, which was a good strategy. But he couldn't keep it up. And that was his mistake, number one. Number two is he couldn't get to the point where he would be able to control the distance. Tyson Fury controlling the distance throughout the fight was the key to this bout. Him being the aggressor, coming forward with the jab and with the right hand, whether it landed or it didn't, as long as he was able to tie up Deontay Wilder, that pretty much kind of did Deontay Wilder in. And what ended up happening was, he just methodically wore Deontay Wilder down and then just beat him up. Like he said he was going to do. He said he was going to annihilate Deontay Wilder. That was number one. Number two, if y'all remember way back when the initial press conference happened, when it was supposed to be originally scheduled, Tyson Fury told Deontay Wilder and Malik Scott that no matter what Deontay Wilder does at the beginning, he's going to go right back to the same Deontay Wilder. And what did we see? We saw the same Deontay Wilder after those knockdowns were scored. And shout out to my guy, Myron Magnus of Boxing Logics United. He saw it with Deontay Wilder, does a skip forward, throws the left jab, and then follows with the right. And when you do that, and your opponent is able to see that the whole time, either he backs up, he takes the punch, rolls with the punch, or he'll be able to duck down and nullify the shot from the right hand. But you can say that Deontay Wilder has a lot of heart, because in the second knockdown, that was fairly emphatic too, where he got crushed up close, and he got up, and by the end of that round, he was still hitting Tyson Fury with some big shots. But he had no answer for the jab, and he really didn't have much of an answer for the right hand. And he did go out on his shield. Malik Scott didn't throw in the towel. He just ended up getting battered and beaten down. And then that last knockdown was emphatic enough for the referee to just end the bout. And so Tyson Fury is still undefeated, still the WBC, and still the lineal heavyweight champion of the world. And that ends the trilogy. There will be more about this in the podcast that comes up later on. That'll be live on YouTube. Y'all be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you miss it on YouTube, it'll be live on iTunes. Or it'll be on Google Podcasts or whatever you use for your favorite podcast. But Bison Source, checking out. Peace.